Good morning. So I work for the French Association for Cycling, which is called FUB. You can see it on the screen. And the aim of FUB is to make it easy for people to cycle on a daily basis in their city. And in 2020, we had a problem raising in our city. It was that there were more and more delivery vans everywhere, especially parked on the cycle lanes. And the FUBs thought there was something to do about this, and we had to solve this problem if we want to have more people cycling in our city centers. And at the same time, the French state, so the Ministry for Ecology, was doing call for proposal for having more ecological deliveries in cities or in the city centers. So with these two things together, FUB went to see the different cycling companies and cyclogistic companies and try to understand how we could help them with this money from the state to develop. And what these companies told us is that because they were new, they didn't have that many customers yet, then they had low delivery density because not many customers, it means not many parcels to deliver, so long time between 2 points of delivery. And because they had low productivity, they had high price, low amount of customers, low amount of parcels. So what we do with ColisActiv is that we give an incentive, financial incentive for every delivery that is made with a bicycle. So we make artificially these delivery prices low, so that these bicycle companies, they can acquire easily more customers, they have more parcels, then they will have higher density deliveries, they will have a high productivity, and after 3 to 4 years of our program, they don't need us anymore, and they will be naturally competitive against vans, and they will keep on developing and reach a higher state, and we will have more bicycles in our cities. And this goes hand in hand with cities in the same time having policies against cars and vans, so trying to have to make it more difficult to go in cities with vans and make it easy also to deliver with bicycles. So that's how ColisActiv works. So at the beginning, we only have the first leg. It was giving money. So the money is split between the operating company, the company that has a bicycle and that pedals every day, and it's shared with the company that decides to have a cargo bike company for the last mile instead of a van. So an example of this kind of companies is DHL or UPS. And having only this money here was not enough. We had to go and advertise for our program. So we went and identified all the local players that had bicycles, and we presented them to the national contractors to try to put them in contact and make it easy for these companies to start doing cyclo-logistics. And the last thing we do is also we bring knowledge about cyclo-logistics to these big companies that at the beginning they didn't know anything about cargo bikes. Now it's after 4 years, it's something more common in their organizations. And we also bring more knowledge to the city employees so that they can bring in place more like comprehensive policies around the development of cargo bikes, of cyclo-logistics. A small update, we've been live 4 years now. We have 17 cities that are part of our program so far. We've sponsored 6 million parcels and 400,000 pallets. So it's also pallets that have been delivered. We have had 90 cyclo-logistics companies that are benefiting from our programs, and 120 more than 120 contractors that are also benefiting from ColisActiv. One of these 70 cities is now already finished. It's Angers, the first one that started, and in the 4 years of ColisActiv, the volumes distributed by bicycle was multiplied by 5. So it means that the number of people employed in Angers working on daily basis on cargo bikes was multiplied by 5 in 4 years. So it's great results. And now we're keeping on developing ColisActiv outside of this national fund. We're talking to new cities in France, so we should have 5 to 10 new cities next year, and that will go on ColisActiv with their own phones. And we also are opening ColisActiv abroad. So any city that wants to benefit from our system, if they're happy to fund the program, they can now integrate our system. So that's an example of companies doing using ColisActiv in France. So you see all the big companies are now using it. A few examples on development of cyclogistics with ColisActiv. That's one big e-commerce player that we all know in Lyon. So before 2021, they were not doing bicycles. Then we arrived at the end of 2021 in Lyon, and you can see that they expanded cargo bikes delivery a lot. You can see the number of parcels that were sponsored for 6 months periods, and the average bonus that's going down because we want that at the end of ColisActiv, when we go out of this incentive system, there is not a problem for them, and that they can keep on having these deliveries, and that the operating companies don't lose their customers. That's the evolution in Rouen for all volumes together. So you can see we can easily spot the city center where there are the restrictions, the pedestrian zones. Then we have year-on-year evolution in Bordeaux. We started Bordeaux the 1st of January 2023, and you can see deliveries. And now I'm making a small focus on data. So in order to certify that the deliveries are done by bicycle, to calculate the bonuses, to prepare the payments, we have to collect lots of data from the companies that deliver and that are benefiting from us. And all this data is collection is automatized, and the process is also automatized. So they send us the description of all the tours they're making on bicycles. They have to respect a specific format, and then we can calculate all the things we need, and we can calculate for the cities the evolution of the cycle logistics model share, which is very important for them to know what is the evolution. We can map the main roads that are used. We can identify where the deliveries were made. So we identify which neighborhoods are more adapted to cyclogistics, and lots of other key metrics. So that's an example of key metrics that we can have. This is at very global level, but we can deep dive and break it down for specific flows, specific cities, specific companies. So for instance, we can calculate the average approach. So what we have is around 2 kilometers, and it depends on different cities, and we know why. It depends on how easy it is to find micro hubs close to the city centers. Then we have the average distance points between two delivery points, which is still quite high, 700 meters. It's a lot of work between 2 points. And the main actors, so the one that has the biggest density, they have a really much shorter distance between 2 points. Then we can calculate how short is a tour with a cargo bike in comparison with a van, and then we have more operational metrics like how many points, a parcel per point, how many deliveries are done per hour, and how pieces are delivered every hour. So we can see that in average for light parcel deliveries, we can go up to 15 stops per hour in our cities. Then we can see, this is Lyon after 3 years, we can see where the deliveries were made. So that enables the city to understand with the current state of infrastructures, of policies, where cyclogistics is relevant. Because if after 3 years and our incentive system, this is where the deliveries are made, it means that this is where cyclogistics can develop with the current state of the city. So if they want to have more cyclogistics, for instance, in the south, they know that they have to change the infrastructure, change the traffic plans, or make more regulations. That's another map where we can see in which streets the bicycles are going. So that helps the city, in this case Bordeaux, to know where they need to make wider cycle path and where it's interesting to offer micro hubs if they want to help. And then we have other set of reportings, and what's interesting is that we can see in every neighborhood, so 25 meter per 25 meter, we can see where the deliveries are, how many deliveries were made, and they can see per time of the day, per day of the week. So that's really very valuable information for the cities that want to then pilot urban distribution. And one last page, if I have still time. So I'm going to be very fast on this one. It's other initiatives that we monitor in France. We try to be to follow what's going on. So there are a few companies that are using boats and then bikes in Paris and Strasbourg. So the parcels are coming with a boat and then transferred into a bike. In Strasbourg, they are testing now what you see on the picture is using the tram. So tram is full with people, and they have just one door that is kept for the parcels, and then from the tram to bicycles, and then last mile on bike. There are also a few tests on curbside cross docks, so that just the truck is coming on the pavement and close to the pavement, the cargo bikes are coming and taking directly from the truck and going around. And then we have another experiment that is funded by the state that is trying to help new tests on micro hubs and consolidation centers all around France, and that's just being launched now. So we'll have in 2025 lots of new experimentations on micro hubs and consolidation centers in France, and we are ColisActiv part of this to try to bring different actors together on this test. Yeah, that's it for me. It's 11 minutes.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Romain.